It is time to get into the second most popular hero in the world, because we already know that Spider-Man takes the top spot. But you know, that's besides the point, right? I don't want to make Batman fans upset this early into the segment. So hopefully this following news will uplift your spirits, as Rocksteady has, well, there's rumors, so take this with a grain of salt. But basically, they said that Rocksteady is focusing on a new single-player Batman game. But of course, the specifics were not confirmed. Now, that is set to make a lot of people upset. Why? Because Batman Beyond is what people are wanting for the next installment into the Arkham Knight series. If you don't know, well, into the Arkham series. Because when it comes to the Arkham Knight being the last game of the series, if you don't know how it ends, I don't want to spoil it for you, because of course, what if you want to play the game for yourself? Like, I know Kai Cenat's doing a whole Batman marathon, so why would I spoil it for anybody who wants to know what happens at the end? So basically, essentially, Warner is wanting to make a new Batman single player game, but they are saying that it's going to be the first entry into a new Batman game trilogy. Now, I wonder what character they could go with as far as continuing the storyline, but also giving him his own trilogy. So after we figure out that it's probably going to be a Batman Beyond game, we have to start to get into what do we want to see when it comes to a Batman Beyond game. Because if you don't know, his power set is very unique as far as compared to Batman, and I believe that Bruce Wayne is like super old whenever Batman Beyond comes through. So I wonder how they're gonna do that. Like, I wonder if it's gonna be a time skip. Like, it's just so many questions that we need answered, and of course, with these rumors, we're not gonna get answers to those type of specific questions. So I'm trying to figure out what are the differences between the power sets. So when it comes to Batman, we already know what he is. You know, he's basically a human doing all these superhero-like feats because he has plot armor. But you know, that's besides the point, right? Actually getting into Batman Beyond, I know he has rocket boots. So I think that's like one of the main differences between Batman Beyond and Batman as far as transversing the environment. So of course, Batman Beyond is Terry McGinnis. Batman, we already know, is Bruce Wayne. The main difference is that Batman Beyond has a advanced exosuit, which Batman does as well. But like I said, he has jet boots. He has invisibility. Interesting. Built-in gadgets such as batarangs, grapple. Okay, same thing Batman has. But he has enhanced strength because of his exosuit. So when it comes to Batman, I've always wondered why he made all these suits, but he can never fly. Like, if you have this much money and you're working with some of the top tech people in the world, why are you making a suit to where you got to grapple around, you got to use vehicles? Like, why not just make a suit where you can fly? But maybe I'm tripping. The main thing with me when it comes to Batman is that he's a human, and he should not be doing all these superhero-like feats. I know y'all say to suspend your disbelief, but whenever they consistently compare who will win in a Superman versus Batman scenario, that's when I get upset. I'm like, there's no way y'all telling me that a human is about to take out Superman in any form or fashion. I don't care if he has kryptonite armor all around him. It just doesn't make sense. So with that being said, Batman Beyond is more of an upgraded Batman from the standpoint of the suit. Now, of course, Batman, you know, his intellect, which I call plot armor. But, you know, that's basically, he's one of the world's greatest detectives and things like of that nature. Batman Beyond is not. He's less detective, more just suit dependent and just throw hands. He's not like gonna be Sherlock Holmes and figuring out who the villain is or what the motive is behind the villain, right? He's not doing any of that. He's going in and throwing straight hands. Meanwhile, Batman is over here on his knees, basically looking at stuff with a magnifying glass, right? So that's the main difference. With Terry McGinnis' suit, he's a lot stronger. He can go invisible. He has jet boots. So transversing the environment should be a lot more enjoyable, because now a lot of people want like Superman-like games, but they don't realize that Superman is one of the most OP fictional creations of all time. So as far as balancing that in the gaming format, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, unless he's battling robots 24/7, Batman's out here fighting thugs on the street. Superman can't do that in his game because it wouldn't make sense. Like, imagine you get beat up by thugs on the street as your Superman. Just doesn't make sense, right? So Superman would have to be in some like huge apocalyptic type of setting for his story to even make sense, which is why Brainiac is one of the best villains for a Superman like character. But when it comes to a game, do you really want the entire game to be just robots running around the entire, like, as far as the apocalyptic setting? Of course not. So it's hard to do a Superman game, and I think if you look at any Superman game in the past, you'll realize why it's that hard. So with Batman being more human, it's a lot more believable as far as him going up against random street thugs and getting taken out with one punch. So Batman Beyond, they're also working on it's a Spider-Verse type of show where I don't know if it's the creators of Spider-Verse, but they basically wanted to do a Batman Beyond version of what they did with Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Across the Spider-Verse. So I think that would be a great transition for them. But as far as actual development details leading back to the game, you already know that the commercial failure of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League probably made Rocksteady look back at their IP and was like, you know what? Let's just go with the safe bet because we already tried with Suicide Squad to switch it up. And we've seen how that came about. One of the worst flops in gaming history. So now, let's go back to Batman. Let's try to give Terry McGinnis his own trilogy and see how that does. And I think that would be phenomenal because if you don't know, Warner Bros. Montreal was previously working on a similar Batman Beyond inspired game, codenamed Project Sabbath, but it was canceled in 2017. But elements were allegedly repurposed for Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad. So if you didn't know, well, now you know. So the game is rumored to be a PS5 exclusive. Xbox players not going to like that. So, of course, for PC players, I think it will still come out even if it is exclusive on PlayStation because usually months after, or maybe even a whole entire year after, at some point, you will get the PlayStation. Well, not PlayStation. You will get the game that was exclusively on PlayStation. So, I mean, just look at Spider-Man PS4 and how long that took to go from PlayStation to PC. So, when it comes to that, I think that's one of the main things you need to look at as far as Batman Beyond coming in the future. Obviously, we have no official confirmation from Rocksteady, Warner Bros. Or anything, but all of these are reputable sources as far as when I researched more into it as far as the Batman Beyond game being the actual thing. So I'll take it with a grain of salt, but also do realize that a lot of these publications are saying the same thing, and at that point, where there's smoke, there's fire. As if they're going to have an entire trilogy set around Batman Beyond, especially in the universe, I think we're in for a treat, as the main thing with Rocksteady is getting a W, because Suicide Squad was such a flop that there's really no point in trying to roll the dice again. Just go with your most popular superhero, go with what you already know as far as the mechanics of using a Batman-like character. Give us a trilogy under Batman Beyond, and then maybe under that trilogy or in the midst of that trilogy, you could put out like a Justice League game where we have the OG Batman, right? I think that could be a good marketing strategy rollout for Rocksteady. But of course, with Suicide Squad, they're bound to make some mistakes, but I just hope it doesn't end up with them going away from the Batman Arkhamverse. So with that being said, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Batman Beyond being rumored to be the next single player game from Rocksteady? And would you be looking forward to a Batman Beyond Rocksteady game? Or the rumors aren't true, but they're still working on a single player game. Which character under the DC umbrella would you like to see them make a game for?